The sky was burning. Started as small flashes on the horizon, like distant lightning. But then 9,900 alien warships emerged from the void, stretching as far as the eye could see. Cities trembled under their shadow, satellites shattered, communication lines went silent. Earth had never faced anything like this. People ran in terror. Streets were chaos. Cars crashed, buildings shook, and alarms screamed endlessly. Parents grabbed children. Families stumbled over debris. Panic spread like wildfire. Humanity, in an instant, seemed powerless. In Washington, D.C., President Alara Kane stared at the giant holographic display in the war room. Red blips moved across the globe, each one a warship, each one a threat. How? How is this possible? Military advisors barked orders, but their voices were drowned by the sound of alarms and the roar of incoming fire. The first strike hit New York. Alien beams cut through skyscrapers like paper. Bridges collapsed. Vehicles exploded. Millions ran screaming into the streets. But there was nowhere safe to go. Defense systems fired back, but the alien shields absorbed every missile. Anti-aircraft guns melted before they even touched the warships. On the West Coast, San Francisco faced the same nightmare. Buildings crumbled. The Golden Gate trembled, and then partially collapsed under heavy fire. Evacuation efforts failed. People tried to flee by air, but alien patrols shot down planes with ease. The skies above Tokyo, fighter jets tried to intercept. Pilots pressed their weapons, hoping against hope. Explosions tore through alien ships, but shields barely flickered. Each pilot knew the odds were against them. And yet, they kept flying. They kept fighting. Humanity refused to give up entirely, even in the first minutes. Amid the chaos, some humans moved quietly. Small teams of engineers, scientists, and military personnel escaped to hidden bunkers. Underground tunnels became secret highways for those who survived the first strikes. Families huddled together in abandoned subways, factories, and tunnels, whispering prayers, but never giving in to despair. Commander Leora, a former Space Fleet officer, led one such group. She guided her team through underground corridors beneath the ruins of London. "Stay calm," she whispered. "We survive. That's the first step. And survival means we plan. We move. We fight when it counts." Her group carried only essentials: food, water, makeshift weapons, and data drives containing intelligence. About alien ships. Outside, explosions lit the sky. Buildings burned, smoke-filled tunnels. But inside, humans worked silently, preparing for the fight they had no idea they could win. Across the oceans, similar scenes unfolded. In Rio de Janeiro, teams used hidden ports to launch stealth ships. In Sydney, underground bunkers hid hundreds of civilians, scientists, and soldiers. Even in small towns, ordinary humans acted as first responders, protecting neighbors, guiding people to safety, and keeping morale alive. Meanwhile, alien fleets did not slow. Our mission was clear: total destruction. Cities, governments, and armies had to be wiped out. Any resistance was crushed immediately. They believed humans were fragile, weak, and doomed. Every attack confirmed. Their assumptions, at least, that's what they thought. But the aliens underestimated something: human resilience. In the ruins of New York, survivors scavenged supplies, repaired vehicles, and created makeshift shelters. In London, scientists set up underground labs to analyze alien weaponry. In Tokyo, engineers modified fighter drones to operate autonomously. Everywhere humans adapted, they observed, they learned, they planned. In orbit, alien commanders watched through sensors, puzzled. "There is no organized resistance," one muttered. "Only scattered survivors. They are insignificant." Another replied, "Yes, they are weak. We can destroy them completely in hours." On Earth, Leora's team had already mapped escape routes, hidden caches of weapons, and communication lines the aliens could not detect. They moved silently, like shadows, guiding others to safety. Every human understood the stakes: fight now, and die, or survive, learn, and fight smarter. Even children had a role. Under guidance, They carried messages, mapped areas, and assisted adults in hiding supplies. Fear was real, but it did not break them. Humanity had always survived against odds greater than this. And in these first hours of destruction, that spirit remained alive. The aliens, meanwhile, focused on destruction, unaware of the subtle movements beneath their gaze. They assumed Earth would surrender, that humanity would beg for mercy. They thought survival meant submission. But humans were not ready to submit. They were ready to endure, to adapt, and perhaps one day to fight back. By the end of the first night, millions of humans had survived. Those cities lay in ruins. Fires burned across continents. The sky glowed red with smoke and destruction. And yet, in hidden bunkers, underground tunnels, and stealth ships, humans whispered one word: survive. It was simple, but it carried determination, courage, and hope. Humanity may have been nearly destroyed in the first hours, but the human spirit had not broken. And as dawn approached, a quiet determination spread among the survivors. The aliens had come to destroy. Humans had survived. And they would not make the mistake of underestimating Earth ever again. The sun rose on a ruined Earth. Cities were in flames. Skies still smoked from the alien bombardment, and the cries of the terrified echoed through empty streets. Beneath the destruction, humanity moved quietly. They were alive and surviving, meant preparing for what was to come. Underground bunkers beneath Paris, scientists worked feverishly. Computers hummed, screens flickered with alien fleet patterns, and data streams scrolled endlessly. Every destroyed alien ship was analyzed. Every beam, every shield, every weapon system was studied. Humanity had been caught off guard once. They would not be caught again. Commander Leora moved among them, calm but determined. "We have survived. The first strike," she told the assembled team. "We prepare. The aliens believe they are in control. They think we are helpless. They are wrong. Every move we make now is part of the fight they do not see coming." Across the globe, survivors gathered in secret. In the forests of North America, groups of soldiers trained civilians in survival and guerrilla tactics. In underground tunnels beneath Moscow, engineers worked to repair old vehicles and convert them for stealth attacks. Hidden ports in Rio de Janeiro and Sydney launched small stealth ships, armed with repurposed weapons. Humans were preparing silently, without drawing alien attention. Even children were part of the plan. Under guidance, they carried messages, mapped safe routes, and assisted in maintaining communications. Fear existed, but it did not paralyze them. Instead, it focused them. Every surviving human understood one rule: to survive first, to fight smart later. Above ground, alien warships continued their patrols. They assumed Earth was in ruins, that humanity was broken, but their sensors failed to detect the quiet preparation taking place below. Human scouts mapped alien fleet movements, studied attack patterns, and noted weaknesses. Every observation was recorded, analyzed, and prepared for action. New York. A hidden team transformed underground tunnels into a network of command centers. Communications from scattered survivors were linked through secure lines. Every report, every sighting of alien activity was shared in real time. Humanity was building an invisible network of information, turning chaos into strategy. Meanwhile, in Tokyo, engineers worked to modify drones, aircraft, and even civilian vehicles for combat. They learned alien technology quickly. Weapons were adapted to bypass shields. Sensors were recalibrated to detect hidden ships. Every human knew that when the time came, the strike had to be precise, calculated, and terrifying. Alien commanders observed the surface with arrogance. "They're scattered. They are weak. They have no organization," one said. "Soon, this planet will be ours," another replied confidently. They did not see the silent network forming beneath their feet. They did not understand the patience, intelligence, and resilience of the humans they had thought broken. Leora's teams moved like shadows. Supply caches were hidden in mountains, forests, and ruins. Stealth ships were repaired and tested in secret. Scientists developed makeshift weapons designed to exploit alien weaknesses. Every move was quiet, careful, and deliberate. They were invisible hunters, learning the enemy while the enemy believed they had already won. Even morale was carefully maintained. In bunkers, survivors shared stories of courage, hope, and survival. Children laughed when they could. Soldiers trained without complaint, and civilians adapted quickly to the harsh new reality. Humanity was proving, even in the darkest hours, that spirit was stronger than fear. By the end of the first week after the invasion, humans had not only survived, they had learned, adapted, and prepared. The aliens believed the planet was conquered. They believed humanity was helpless. But hidden beneath the ruins, humanity had built a foundation for resistance. The aliens believed Earth was broken. It destroyed cities, fleets, and communication networks. They thought humanity was finished, but hidden beneath the ruins, humans were ready. In the deserts of Nevada, hidden launch sites came alive. Small stealth ships, previously thought destroyed, powered their engines silently. Sensors hummed as they locked onto alien supply convoys and patrol fleets. These were not random attacks. They were carefully calculated strikes designed to inflict maximum damage while remaining invisible. Commander Leora stood at the control center, her calm eyes scanning every screen. "We strike where they are weakest," she instructed. "We hit their supplies first, then their morale. Remember, we are invisible. They cannot see us until it is too late." The first human strike began at dawn. Alien supply ships moving between sectors were destroyed in seconds. Explosions lit the skies, and debris fell into oceans, forests, and deserts. Alien pilots scrambled, confused and panicked. Their advanced sensors could not detect the stealth ships responsible. Every move the humans made was precise, fast, and unexpected. In London, hidden teams targeted communication satellites. Humans used improvised weapons and alien technology to disrupt signals, leaving alien commanders blind to fleet movements. Confusion spread quickly among the alien ranks. Officers shouted orders that could not be carried out. Pilots fired at phantom targets. Fear began to spread in place of certainty. Across the Pacific, stealth drones attacked patrol ships with silent precision. Missiles struck without warning, shields melted, and alien crews could not respond in time. Humans remained unseen, their positions unknown. For every strike, humans collected intelligence, learning the strengths and weaknesses of alien formations. Back in the Nevada Control Center, Leora watched her screens with satisfaction. "They think they are in control," she whispered. "They are not. Every attack teaches them fear, confusion, and doubt. This is just the beginning." In Paris, underground teams sabotaged alien weapon storage. Explosions demolished armories, but no humans were lost. Civilians watched from hidden tunnels, their fear replaced by awe and hope. Humanity was fighting back not blindly, but with intelligence and strategy. The alien fleet struggled to regroup. "Where are they?" one commander demanded. "Power. Sensors show nothing. They strike and vanish." Panic filled every bridge. Officers argued, communication lines crossed, and fleets drifted without orders. Humanity's first strikes had not only damaged ships, they had damaged confidence, morale, and order. In Tokyo, young engineers launched autonomous drones designed to mimic alien ships. Enemy pilots chased shadows, wasting precious time and fuel. Humans turned technology against its creators, confusing aliens further. Leora smiled at the screens. "Fear is our ally," she said. "Precision is our weapon." Even in small towns and rural areas, humans contributed. Scouts reported enemy movements, civilians repaired hidden supply caches, and children carried messages between teams. Every human had a role in the strikes. The message was clear: survival alone was not enough. Humanity would fight, adapt, and overcome. By nightfall, the first strikes were complete. Alien supply lines were disrupted. Patrols were destroyed or confused. Communication networks were failing. Invaders had begun to realize that Earth was not defenseless. Somewhere deep within their fleets, commanders whispered fears they had never felt before. "These humans? They are not what we expected." On Earth, humans celebrated quietly. Not with fireworks, not with cheers, but with the silent satisfaction of a plan unfolding. They had survived the initial invasion. They had learned from it, and now they had struck back. The aliens were beginning to see that survival meant more than staying alive. It meant fighting smart, with strategy, intelligence, and patience. Commander Leora addressed her team one last time that night. "They will strike again," she warned, "and we must be ready. But remember this. We have taken the first step. The galaxy thinks we are weak. They think we will surrender. 8 are wrong. Humanity fights back, and we will not stop." In the skies above, alien fleets remained, but their confidence wavered. Ships that had been arrogant and destructive hours before now moved cautiously. Every commander began to second-guess their decisions. Fear, subtle and unseen, had entered their ranks, and beneath the surface of the ruined cities, hidden bunkers and secret launch sites, humanity whispered one word together, full of determination and strength: strike. The first human strikes had changed everything. The invaders had learned one lesson the hard way: Earth was not conquered. Humanity had survived the fire, studied the enemy, and now fought with intelligence. The battle had begun, and the aliens would soon discover that the humans they thought fragile were more dangerous than any fleet in the galaxy. The aliens had expected Earth to crumble. They had expected fear, surrender, and chaos. But now, they faced something they could not predict: a silent, invisible force striking back with deadly precision. In the deserts of Nevada, hidden human command centers coordinated attacks across continents. Every strike had a purpose. Supply ships, patrol fleets, communication arrays, and alien outposts were targeted simultaneously. Humans did not attack. Blindly, they observed, calculated, and struck with surgical accuracy. Commander Leora watched the screens intently. Target their supply lines first. Disrupt communications second. Leave fear for last, she ordered calmly. Her voice carried authority. Humans moved in silence, like predators, while aliens panicked. Above, the first wave of the counterattack hid in orbit. Stealth ships emerged from hidden launch points and destroyed patrol fleets without warning. Alien commanders scrambled, trying to organize defenses. Beams fired wildly, shields flickered, but humans vanished before retaliation could land. Each attack spread confusion, chaos, and doubt. On Earth, underground teams coordinated sabotage. Scientists planted explosives in alien weapon depots. Engineers disrupted power grids in occupied cities. Civilians, guided by resistance leaders, moved quickly to safe zones while monitoring enemy movements. Every human contribution, no matter how small, amplified the effect of the strikes. In Tokyo, young engineers launched drones disguised as alien ships. Enemy pilots fired at shadows, wasting time, fuel, and morale. The aliens realized too late that humans had turned their technology against them. Skies were alive with silent attacks that left the invaders terrified and confused. Alien fleets were no longer confident. Orders were ignored or misinterpreted. Commanders argued, shouting at each other while ships drifted aimlessly. Every strike by humans eroded morale. Fear had replaced arrogance. They had underestimated the very species they had come to destroy. In London, hidden teams struck at supply hubs and underground depots. Explosions shattered tunnels, yet no humans were lost. Civilians witnessed the destruction from hiding. Realizing that humanity had the courage, intelligence, and patience to fight even the most powerful enemy. Across the Atlantic, stealth ships disabled alien satellites. Communication channels went dark. Alien commanders could not locate human forces. They were blind, vulnerable, and terrified. Panic spread from fleet to fleet like wildfire. Commander Leora moved to a holographic map in the Paris underground headquarters. "Focus on their nerves," she said quietly. "They are strong, but fear will weaken them faster than our weapons. Every strike teaches them hesitation. Every explosion teaches them doubt." The counterattack was not just physical, it was psychological. Humans left messages carved into alien supply ships. Earth survives. Fear the invisible.
Rumors spread among alien crews.
Some believed human forces were everywhere at once. Others whispered that Earth itself was alive, fighting them like a single organism. By nightfall, the first coordinated counterattack had achieved its goals. Alien supply lines were shattered, fleets were disorganized, communication networks were crippled, and most importantly, the invaders' confidence had begun to crumble. In hidden bunkers, survivors allowed themselves quiet smiles. Not of celebration, but of satisfaction. Humanity had turned the tables. The aliens had expected helplessness and despair, but what they faced instead was strategy, patience, and intelligence. Humans were not just surviving, they were now controlling the battle without the aliens even realizing it. Commander Leora addressed the teams one last time that day. They will strike again. They may think we are weak, but we are stronger than they know. Today we fought not just to survive, but to teach them that Earth is not a place to conquer. Above the planet, alien fleets drifted in confusion. Ships moved cautiously, scanning for threats that could not be seen. Confidence had been replaced. With fear, for the first time, the invaders doubted their own power. Beneath the ruins, underground tunnels, and hidden launch sites, humanity whispered together, "We strike. We survive. We will endure." The aliens had come to Earth confident, armed with numbers, firepower, and arrogance. But confidence is fragile. And now, it was shattering. Across the globe, alien fleets faltered. Patrols failed to appear on schedule. Supply convoys vanished. Without a trace, satellites, once reliable, went dark. Commanders barked orders that were ignored or misunderstood. Panic spread like wildfire among crews who had never before felt fear. In orbit above New York, a fleet commander slammed his fist against a console. "Where are they?" he shouted. His crew scrambled, eyes wide. "We cannot find them. Every attack is a surprise. Every strike hits where we are weak." On Earth, hidden human teams watched the chaos unfold. Leora's eyes gleamed with satisfaction as she surveyed the holographic map. "They are afraid," she said softly. "Every strike, every disruption, every invisible move, they are starting to realize that we are not helpless. And fear breaks even the strongest." Humanity had not only survived the alien invasion, they had turned it into a psychological war. Every stealth strike, every sabotage, every manipulated sensor reading created doubt among the invaders. Officers questioned orders. Pilots hesitated before firing. Fleets moved cautiously, unsure of where the next human strike would come from. In London, underground teams sabotaged alien repair stations. Explosions rocked tunnels and streets above. Yet no human lives were lost. Civilians cheered quietly in hiding, realizing that strategy, intelligence, and patience were now as powerful as firepower. Even the alien soldiers themselves began to speak in whispers. "They are everywhere," one muttered. "We cannot see them. They strike and vanish." Another replied, "Perhaps this planet itself is alive, attacking us with shadows." Fear had replaced arrogance, and confusion had replaced certainty. Across the Pacific, stealth ships carried out coordinated strikes on multiple fleets. Alien commanders, desperate to regain control, sent ships in random directions. Patrols collided. Supply lines were broken. Ships fired at phantom targets. Wasting precious resources, in the deserts of Nevada, Leora's team prepared for the next wave. "This is the moment we have been waiting for," she said. "Their morale is collapsing. Their fleets are disorganized. Every mistake they make strengthens us. Humanity is proving that survival alone is not enough. We fight smart, we fight patient, and we fight united." In Tokyo, engineers modified. More drones to mimic alien vessels. Enemy pilots fired at shadows, leaving their own formation vulnerable. Communications between alien fleets were jammed by subtle human interference. Panic was contagious. The invaders were losing control faster than they had ever imagined possible. In small towns and rural areas, humans continued to support the effort. Scouts relayed fleet movements. Civilians repaired hidden caches of weapons. Every act, no matter how small, amplified the effect of the counterattacks. Humanity was united, intelligent, and relentless. By the end of the week, the aliens had lost more than just ships. They had lost confidence. Morale had collapsed completely. Commanders doubted every order. Pilots refused missions. Fleets drifted aimlessly. The humans they had believed weak and fragile were now their greatest threat. Underground, Leora addressed her team. "We have done what no one expected," she said. "We thought Earth was theirs. They believed they could conquer us easily. But fear has destroyed them. Their fleets are broken, their morale is gone. Humanity survives not only with courage but with intelligence and patience. The galaxy has learned a lesson it will never forget. And across the planet, hidden in ruins, forests, mountains, and underground bunkers, humans whispered together, 'We are ready. We endure. We fight.' The aliens, meanwhile, retreated to regroup. Entire fleets left Earth orbit. Commanders debated whether to continue the invasion at all. Some whispered that humanity was unlike any species they had encountered. Others feared returning at all. Confidence was gone. Fear ruled in its place. Humanity had turned the tide without engaging in full-scale battle. They had survived annihilation, adapted to impossible circumstances, and now dominated the battlefield psychologically. They had proved that numbers and firepower were not enough. Strategy, intelligence, and unity could destroy even the greatest fleets. The galaxy began to whisper about Earth. Other species watched from afar. Reports spread of the humans who survived the first strike, struck back invisibly, and broke the morale of 9,900 alien warships. Fear of humanity was growing beyond the planet itself. Commander Leora looked at the stars through a crack in the bunker roof. The destruction of the first attack still burned below, but the lesson was clear. Humans had survived. Humans had adapted. Humans had won not only in survival, but in strategy. And the aliens had learned one undeniable truth: never underestimate humanity. The counterattacks had worked. Morale had collapsed. The alien invaders had discovered the true cost of their arrogance. And humanity, silent yet powerful, prepared for the next chapter, one in which they would take control, not just of survival, but of the battle itself. The aliens had underestimated humanity. They had thought Earth fragile, chaotic, and weak. They had come with 9,900 warships, ready to conquer and destroy. But now, the battle had changed. The remnants of the alien fleets hovered hesitantly above Earth. Supply lines were shattered. Communication networks were crippled. Fleets drifted without orders, and commanders argued endlessly. Fear had replaced arrogance. Confidence was gone. Galaxy had never seen such disorder among a once powerful armada. On Earth, hidden humans observed silently. Commander Leora stood at the control center in Paris, surrounded by holographic maps and live data streams. "They think retreat will save them," she said calmly. "But Earth will not surrender. Humans have survived. Humans have adapted. And now humans will finish what they started. From the deserts of Nevada to the forests of Siberia, stealth ships and modified drones emerged. Humans coordinated strikes across continents. Alien fleets were forced to move defensively, trying to repair damage and reorganize. Every move they made was anticipated, every escape route mapped, every weakness exploited. In London, underground teams sabotaged the remaining alien outposts. Explosions tore through weapon storage facilities. Engineers jammed power systems and sensor grids. Alien troops were trapped, confused, and demoralized. There was nowhere for them to hide. Across the Pacific, autonomous drones mimicked alien ships, creating illusions of massive human fleets. Enemy pilots fired at shadows, depleting fuel and ammunition. Communication lines failed. Alien fleets drifted aimlessly, unsure of friend or foe. Panic spread faster than their firepower. In small towns and rural areas, civilians continued to assist. Scouts relayed positions, hidden caches provided weapons, food, and fuel. Every human was part of the final push. Survival had become strategy, and strategy had become victory. Commander Leora addressed her teams over secure lines. "This is it," she said. "We have survived. We have struck back. The aliens have lost morale, power, and control. Now we show them that humanity is more than numbers, more than firepower. We are intelligence, patience, and courage. And the galaxy will know it. The final coordinated strikes began at dawn. Stealth ships disabled the last supply convoys. Alien patrols were annihilated. Communications were jammed completely. Fleets collapsed from within as crews panicked and argued. Entire battalions of alien troops surrendered or fled. Humanity had turned survival into total dominance. Above Earth, the skies cleared as alien warships fled. The remaining commanders sent desperate messages. We underestimated them. Withdraw immediately. Do not return. But the humans were not done. They ensured that every retreating ship was tracked, every potential threat neutralized. In the underground bunkers, survivors allowed themselves quiet smiles. Not of arrogance, but of relief. Humanity had endured fire and steel, adapted under pressure, and emerged victorious. They had turned destruction into strategy, fear into power, and survival into domination. Commander Leora looked at the stars, the ruins of destroyed fleets. Reflected on the holographic map. Earth stands, she whispered. Humanity survives. And we will never be underestimated again. The galaxy began to take notice. Reports of human intelligence, strategy, and resilience spread to distant planets and civilizations. The species that had seemed weak, fragile, and insignificant had shattered one of the most powerful alien fleets ever assembled. Civilians emerged. From bunkers, families reunited in ruins, and soldiers cleaned and repaired their hidden ships. Humanity had survived its greatest test. They had turned a near-extinction event into proof of courage, intelligence, and unity. And as the aliens retreated into the void, the humans whispered together, their voices carrying a promise. Earth survives. Humanity endures. Never again will we be underestimated. The planet was scarred, cities destroyed, and skies still blackened by smoke.